Hey, my friends. I have something on my mind, and I just want to share this with you. Let me tell you about Peggy. Now, Peggy came in with a purpose. She was a divorced mother, raising 2 children, and she had been out of the workforce for about 10 years. Life had already taken her in a direction she did not plan, and she reached a point where she knew something had to change. Bills were not slowing down, responsibilities were not going anywhere, and waiting for things to work out was no longer enough. So she made a decision. She said, I need to learn a trade. I want to sew. I want to be able to work again. And on top of that, she wanted to make a dress for her daughter. Now that right there, that is pressure. Because when you say you are making something for your child, that is not practice anymore. That is expectation. Now, I have heard people say they want something before. They talk about it, think about it, and then disappear when the work shows up. But Peggy stayed. She showed up with everything: fabric, thread, tools. I looked at her and said, "All right, now we can talk." So we started with the basics: straight stitch, back stitch, simple seams, nothing fancy. Now, like most people, she wanted to move faster than she should. Everybody wants clean work, but not everybody wants to sit still long enough to get it. Then it started. Thread bunching, fabric shifting, seams are going in directions nobody asked them to go. She looked at it and said, I know this is not right. I said, if it looks confused, it is confused. Now here is where most people stop. They get frustrated, they get quiet, and then they disappear. But not Peggy. She came back the next day, and the next, and the next. That is when I knew she was serious, because showing up is harder than talking about it. Now she slowed down. She started paying attention, adjusting her fabric, watching her seams, taking her time. And something changed. Not perfect, but right. Because perfection will slow you down, but right will move you forward. Peggy did not get better because it got easier. She got better because she stayed with it. When something went wrong, she fixed it, even when she did not feel like it. That is where the emotion is. Not in getting it right the first time, but in not walking away when it goes wrong. She stayed with it, learned what she needed to learn, and she moved on. She ended up getting exactly what she wanted, a job at a sewing factory, doing the work she came in to learn. And as far as I knew, she was doing well. Until about 6, maybe 7 months later, she reached out to me again. And it did not come through a message. It did not come through a call. It came through the mail. I walked out to my mailbox one day and saw something I do not usually see anymore. A letter. Not a bill, not junk mail. This one had weight to it. The kind of weight that makes you pause before you even open it. And I did not open it right away. I just stood there, turning it over in my hand. Because when somebody takes the time to send you something like that, it usually means something. So I opened it. And when I saw the name, everything slowed down just a little. Peggy, the quiet one, focused, did not need attention, but always paying attention. She did not write a lot. She did not have to. Just a few lines, but every word had weight. Thank you for everything you taught me. Because of you, I did not give up. I am now working, and I have made something I am proud of. I will never forget what you showed me. And when I read that, I already knew she was doing well. Because she had told me that was her goal. And now she had it. Working in a factory, doing what she set out to do. That would have been enough. For most people, that would have been the end of it. But it was not. Because at the bottom of that letter, there was something else. Her number. And just 2 words. Call me. So I called. And when she answered, I could hear it. Not panic, not confusion, just hesitation. She said, I started something. Then she paused. Not a quick pause. She took her time. And I did not rush her, because sometimes people need a moment to figure out how to say what they already know went wrong. Then she finally said it. And I think I did it wrong. That could have meant anything. Something small, or something that already got away from her. So I just listened. Then she said it. It is a chair. And when she said that, I understood. She stepped into upholstery. Because sewing on a table is one thing. You make a mistake, you take it apart, fix it, keep going. But a chair, that has structure, that has to hold. So now I am thinking, what exactly did she do? And how far did she go with it? Before I even went over there, I had to prepare myself. Because I was not about to walk into somebody's house acting like I knew everything about upholstery. So I went to the library, sat down, pulled out a couple of books, started reading. Foam density, batting, fabric stretch, staple placement. And I realized something quickly. This is not just about putting fabric on something. This is a structure. If the base is not right, it does not matter how good it looks. So I went to see her, walked in, and I saw the chair. I did not say anything right away. I just stood there, because I was trying to understand what I was looking at. I said, Peggy, what is this? She said, it is supposed to be a cushion. I looked at it again, and something about it was not settled. One side is higher than the other, middle pushing forward, another side dipping down, like it could not decide where it belonged. So I leaned in a little closer, and I said, Peggy, why does this chair look like it is breathing? Because it really did. One side rising, the other lowering, like it had its own rhythm. I stepped back. I said, if this chair starts talking, I am going to leave. Because at that point, this is no longer just furniture. And she looked at it, then looked at me and said, I knew something was not right. I said, you were correct. Because that chair was not just uneven. It looked unsettled, like every part of it had been pulled in a different direction, and now it was trying to recover. I said, this chair is not resting. It is trying to figure itself out. And the more I looked at it, the more I saw the story in it. Corners puffed up like they were holding secrets, middle dipping like it gave up halfway through. One side stretched too tight, the other side is barely holding on. I said, this chair looks like it had a long day. And that is when she started laughing, because she saw it too. But then I looked closer, and I saw the real issue. Not the fabric, not even the foam. The tension. She pulled it tight in one direction, loose in another, and then she started stapling. Staple here, staple there, another one right behind it. I said, Peggy, once you start stapling like this, you are committing to every decision you made. Because upholstery does not let you hide anything. Every pull, every shortcut, every rushed moment, it shows up. I looked at the staples and said, You were confident. She said, I thought I was. I said, yes, confident in the wrong direction. And we both laughed. So we slowed everything down, carefully removed the staples one by one, and there were many. I said, you really believed in this? She said, I was trying to finish it. And that was the moment. Not the chair, not the fabric, the rush. So we started over, pulled the fabric evenly, side to side, front to back, cut the foam properly, let it sit where it was supposed to sit, worked the corners, shaped them, guided them, and slowly that chair started to settle. It stopped looking like it was breathing, stopped shifting, stopped fighting itself. And when it was done, it looked right. I stepped back and said, now this chair can sit in peace. And she looked at it, and you could see it. She understood. Now, if you have ever worked on something and realized halfway through you rushed it, you already understand this. And if you're enjoying this kind of storytelling, go ahead, like, subscribe, and join the community. Because this is more than fabric. So let me ask you, how many times have you tried to fix something at the end instead of going back to where it actually went wrong? That letter she sent? That was not just a thank you. That was proof. And that chair? That was her next lesson. Now I want you to go. Make something, repair something, do something good in your community, and make yourself proud.